Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a video for you talking about paper notes and quality, and understanding some things that you're going to see when you look at a banknote, and just knowing what you're looking at and how to spot things that may be considered difficult or problematic. So for the most part, this $500 bill looks to be in decent shape. We've got a video on just kind of how to identify different grade sets or grade points. This is a nice middle grade note, probably like a very fine. You'll notice that the note is slightly soiled, and then on this side it looks like it has some white spots around the district letter, the J for Kansas City. In the back you see something actually kind of similar where you get over to the side of the note. We've got some other stuff going on. So let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at here and how to identify. Of course, it's easy, just like on a coin when you have different color spots, that you're going to see something happen, right? So on this note here, I'm going to take my loop out and see if we can see anything going on. Why is it a little bit whiter here? And one of the things that you'll see as you look here is the remnant of some pencil marks. And what happens is people will literally use an eraser, and you can see how the fibers are just all roughed up there versus where it's dirty. So basically, an eraser does the same thing to a banknote that it does to a piece of to a coin, and that is, it removes surface, but it also really scratches the surface, so to speak, right? And so you leave these white spots here. Of course, always with banknotes, it helps to have backlighting. Now, if you don't have a fancy little backlighting thing, you can always use a phone. If you've got just a little, if your phone probably has a light on it, to help you see a little bit what you're seeing from the back side. And you can look at how the fiber, because what happens is the note actually is thinner in areas where it's had stuff happen to it. Like, look at this weird white spot here. That's where fibers have been moved around, right? And so you'll kind of start to see stuff like that when it's backlit, as far as a note that's been played with. Now this side's interesting. It's a little bit different. You can see this white spot up here in the corner, right where my light is. I'm going to move the light. See that white spot up there? And then you've got some more stuff going on here. This other white spot is. So let's look a little closer at these and see what we've got here. Once again, you've got a lot of rubbing. Now, the culprit oftentimes is an eraser, but sometimes people will take a cotton swab and a chemical. And I'm mentioning the chemical here because you see this where the green fades to blue. That's probably a chemical reaction from some type of cleanser or cleaner. Maybe it has a little bit of ammonia in it or something like that. And so people will try to clean a note off, and then they'll do something with the chemicals. So this does, the same thing basically with banknotes that happens with coins, which is if you get something that has an unnatural look to it, then you'll end up having a diminished value in the marketplace, generally speaking. Now, one of the things that's easy to see on this note is we've got this two-tone effect where you've got the light spots and the dark spots. And so it's easier to tell, but the thing I want you to have a little bit of a takeaway on is just kind of understanding what a natural surface should look like and what an unnatural surface will look like as best you can, right? I mean, I know it's just one video, but this is just a part of your education when you're training yourself to understand what you're looking at. So when you see a note that's really well worn but bright, it's the same thing as when you see a coin that's really well worn but bright, or a copper coin that's really well worn but is red. It's been colored, right? It's been played with. And so those are things that you absolutely need to kind of learn to protect yourself when you're buying stuff. And sometimes you'll see notes that are graded that will still have things going on, and lots of times the grading companies will note, or sometimes they don't, they write it up on the back where they'll note what's going on. And that's always a good, useful tool for learning and training yourself and your eye as to what you're looking at and how to perceive grades, how to perceive when something's been played with or not. Alright guys, I hope that helps you out. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen.